know I said 2-0. I had a fucking shock. I had 2 points. Welcome to Irish Footy Vlogs. Another weekend, another mad weekend, and mad results, Cian, wasn't it? Before we get into the games, actually, I'll just say that you're winning 18-13. I had a shocker, 2 points this week. I don't know what else to say, but I think I'll move on. So the first game, Cian, was Dundalk and Waterford at Oriel Park. Finished 2-2. What did you make of this one?
Really, I have to say now, I thought it was a great game to watch. I didn't see it live. I watched it back that night. Really, really good game. I thought Waterford fully deserved the win in my eyes. But then, obviously, towards the end, they just lacked that bit of fitness. And then, obviously, that's where Dundalk fell into that prime as such and into their normality, and they just won. They got the game back to a draw, you know. But I thought, personally, the way the whole game went, I thought Waterford deserved the win. They would be disappointed to draw 2-2, but taking nothing away from the performance. I said it before, I only really seen him after lockdown because of the streaming service, but very impressed with Matty Smith on the wing. Think he's doing really well for them, and he's a good player. Curtis Bourne as well seems to find the net, so you know it's good for Waterford to go to Oriel. They would have bit your hand off for the draw. I don't think anyone even gave them a chance. But considering they were 2-0 up, they'd be very disappointed going home.
Yeah, funny enough, you mentioned Matty Smith. I was talking to a few Waterford fans, and they felt before lockdown he wasn't great, but you're right to pick him out because he's been fantastic since we've returned. Ever since that first game against Shelbourne, he was probably certainly one of the better players. He has a bit of zip about him, doesn't he? He's alive. He's one of those players, like, isn't he? And obviously, you know, on the score sheet again, Byrne, as he said as well. Dundalk, though, nearly won it at the end, if I'm honest. They had a few chances there.
Probably
right at the end, yeah.
Mad. Waterford would be disappointed he didn't win it. And really, Dundalk would be disappointed he didn't win it as well.
In the end, yeah.
Like, literally, in the end, off the post, near misses, corners being put, it looked like every time they had a corner, they were going to score. I don't think Waterford were really solid at the back at all.
No. You got to put that down to Keane as well. The fact that Murphy went off, I think that was a big loss for them. Injured, because Ty Ryan, if I'm honest, he looked a bit all over the place. He was stuck to his line a little bit, and there seems to be a lot of miscommunication in the back line. Robbie McCourt is a very good defender, but I'm not sure he's the best in the air. He's more of a midfielder, as we all know, and anything in front of him, he's great at reading the game. But when it comes to set pieces, crosses, I think he struggles a little bit. And obviously, Cuban and Cleary got the goals there at the end, and they could have got another one, really. Same situation.
Honestly, they should have won it, and in the end, they should have won it. But obviously, the whole game was just marred by Sheridan's comments, and I think it kind of took away from the fact it was such a good game. I think it was a great advert for the League of Ireland, and it's mad. It was probably the best game I've seen since lockdown in terms of for a neutral point of view. You know, it was literally attack v defence, one a shot each, and it was a great game to watch. But it was just marred by obviously the comments, and nobody wants to hear them comments. But you know, I think it took away from Waterford's fantastic performance in the end. But giving them full credit, I thought they were fantastic. If they keep that up, like obviously there's only a couple of games left. Look, if they keep it up, you could never know. They could maybe make a little push for Europe. I don't think they will.
Yeah, it's possible because we're not sure. A lot of teams around that spot, those spots are inconsistent. Yeah. So it's possible. Like, we can't really tell. The Ali Coote sending off was actually huge as well. It probably forced Waterford back further as well. Yeah. And 15 minutes ago, I thought they were grand because I thought they were quite comfortable. And I thought 2-0, you know, like Dundalk were quite poor. We have to say Dundalk were very poor for most of that match. Like, we have to say, we keep expecting them to have a kick and kick on. But at the same time, they're not actually doing it, are they?
No, well, you see, you kind of take a little bit away from Waterford here. Waterford got the game down, got the ball down, played in the front foot. They went and they attacked, and they didn't give Dundalk a second on the ball. And I think, albeit Waterford played great, I don't like Dundalk. Obviously, didn't play as good as they could, but that's not taking that away from Waterford. I think Waterford they went there with the game plan. They got a spot on. So they didn't give them time on the ball. Dundalk are used to bossing teams, bossing possession, dictating the whole game, but Waterford didn't let them. So I know it wasn't a great performance from a Dundalk point of view, but that's taking nothing away in the slightest from Waterford. I thought they were excellent.
Yeah, 100%. We'll move on to Finn Harps and Bohemians. Keane, what did you make of this one? Finish Finn Harps 0, Bohemians 1.
I did predict a tight game. I did say
this was your 3-pointer, by the way. You predicted 1-0.
Yeah, I did think Bowes would win a 1-0. I don't think they would have won a 2 or 3, and I couldn't see Finn Harps winning it the way Bowes are at the minute. Look, that's a fantastic point. A fantastic 3 points. Going to Ballyrough, as Pats fans know over the last week, it's a tough place to go in terms of like getting results and digging out, grinding out points and stuff like that. But I thought Bowes fully deserved it. They were like, it was 1-0.
They weren't at their best, weren't they not? Yeah, it was comfortable, but they weren't at their best.
It was a comfortable 1-0. When they went ahead quite early, but I just didn't think Harps were going to score. They just, like the other night, I think every time Harps attacked against Pats, they kind of looked like they could have nicked the goal. But I just couldn't see them scoring against Bowes. I thought Bowes was solid. Look, you're gonna get a hard working side, a workmanship performance from Bowes, and that's exactly what it was. They have that bit of quality up the other end. I think the attacking side looks after itself. And then you have the defensive side of it, which are fantastic and are very well disciplined. I think it's a great 3 points that they'll be looking to kick on now against Pats next week.
Yeah, Danny Grant got the goal. He took it very well. It was a nice touch that got him into position, wasn't it? And he's a player that, he's one of the best prospects in the league, in my opinion. Very young player. Recent Irish under-21. He was called into the squad with Kenny there a while back, which is no mean feat because that's a very, very good Irish under-21 squad, by the way. And with the likes of, Mandrew, who has been out. I know he came on as a sub. The likes of Grant really picking things up, like very creative player. I know people talk about Twardick, but wouldn't be forgetting about Grant either. Fantastic player, great goal.
Look, Bowes front 3 is up there with the best in the league. They have to second in the table. They have to be, but I think they just have that balance right with Twardick and Grant, and it wouldn't be on paper your best front 3 at all, but it's just. I think I said it before, it's just...
They're a team, though. They really function as a team. You know what you get from them. I think that's the point. It's not like individuals or you're not sure about this player, that player. You see Buckley in the midfield as well. Be Levinson who might come in, Ward. You just know what... You keep saying it, but you're right. You know what you're going to get from Bohemians. And that's what you want from your team.
Yeah, I just think the likes of Keith Buckley just does his job. And he does his job that well that it gives the likes of Danny Grant and he gives the likes of Twardick that license to stay there and go and attack on the break and stuff. Well, look, they fully deserved it. They were fantastic.
Absolutely. Now, the biggest surprise of the weekend, I don't think many would have predicted this, let's be honest. Cork City 3, Sligo Rovers 0. And unfortunately, I didn't see it because the Watch LOI stream wasn't working. Allegedly, it came on, Cian, in injury time. So I'm disappointed because it would have been good to see Cork's best performance of the season, nobody saw it type thing, But I was interested to see Cork's new players. Obviously, Darlin scored. Elliott, one of their new players, scored from the penalty spot. And Denanga came on sub and scored again after his goal midweek against Longford. Suddenly, Cork have loads of firepower, Cian.
It's a weird result, it's mad. Sligo, like you say, you win 2 games, you can't see yourself losing. But Sligo obviously would have went there in banging form, and Cork just caught them on the hop. That's taking nothing away from Cork. All the reports I'm hearing, obviously I didn't see much of it myself. They had a Facebook.
It's a real pity that we didn't see it, yeah.
They had a Facebook Live, Cork. But now I'm telling you, it was like watching something in a Stone Age. But fair play to them. At least they put it on. I could just see it's like little blocks running around the pitch. But I thought, look, they fully deserved a 3-0 win. They were obviously the better side from the reports I'm seeing. They'll be delighted with that. That's 2 fantastic wins this week now. They're going to be banging form again, hopefully. They're going to try and build on this again. Look, it's fantastic. I'm delighted for them. They've waited a long time to see a performance like that. I think they've got it now, comprehensive. It wasn't even, when you think of Cork winning now, you'd say they might get a scrappy 1-0. But they went out 3-0. That's fantastic for confidence. The new lads as well.
Yeah.
It's great to see Cork win that game, and look, it opens are right back up again.
It's very interesting down there as well now. Shelbourne won, Derry City won at Tolka Park. Mete penalty there, and Brennan for Shells. What did you make of this one?
It was a poor game. There was no real, without being disrespectful to the two teams, there was no real quality. Derry didn't really do anything other than the penalty. I thought they were happy enough to get the penalty and maybe sit back. Didn't work out for them with Brennan getting the goal, of course, but I think that was the game plan: get ahead and sit back, and that's exactly what they done.
Was that team? Because I felt the same thing as you. Because as soon as Shelbourne scored, suddenly Derry went again. Hamill came on and hit the bar thing twice and looked very, very sharp. Right? And Figure was sharp as usual, But as soon as they sat back for long periods, Shelbourne looked like they might nick a goal. And as soon as they did, Derry went for it again. Was that a mistake for Derry to sit back, in your view?
Yeah, look, we always question managers when they don't get the results, and you always question the decision making. But I think.
Do you think it was from management, or do you think it was one of those subconscious things where you sit back but you're not trying to sit back?
Look, it happens. It happens in football. We see it all the time. You win on 1-0, especially in this country. You win on 1-0. You don't want to sit back, but you kind of do. And it's one of them things you just do without realising. I think Derry would have been delighted with a draw before the game. I think Shelbourne would probably be happy with a draw before the game as well. So I think both teams would be satisfied enough. Shelbourne they're lacking that little bit of extra quality, I think, to win the games. They're lacking that winning streak. They're lacking somebody to just that bit of magic, I think.
I agree. The only good thing about Shelbourne is similar to Bows, not as much quality, but you know what you're going to get from Shelbourne, and they have a unit, and they have a Morris has them well set up in a style that, generally they're hard working, they're hard to break down. I thought Deegan was good in the midfield for Shelbourne, to be fair. But that's good for them. Like, if they could stay up and maybe add an extra bit of sprinkle next season to what they have, that's what they need, isn't it, really?
There's no doubt they're going to stay up, and they will add quality to it. I presume, Ian will have his targets. We see the caliber of players he brought in this year, fantastic. I'm looking forward, well, not as a Pats fan, but I'm looking forward as a League of Ireland fan to see Shelbourne strengthen next year and see how far they can actually take this team, because I think Ian can take it far if given the resources and given, let's say, the money, because that's what it's all about, really. But there's no reason why he can't make a winning side, even without the money. I think he's a good manager. He's a nice fella as well. And, it's great to see Shelbourne back in the Premier Division.
Yeah, definitely. I'm actually looking forward to seeing Hamill start a few games for Derry now. He looked very sharp, didn't he, when he came on?
Yeah, he was sharp when he came on. Obviously, he's going to have that bit of quality. He's had a fantastic CV, played with some big clubs, and he's going to bring something to the league. I love when these players come back, and I like when they come back and they're not finished. I like when you can get at least 2 or 3 years out of them, you know what I mean? I don't like players coming back when they're 35, 36 and they're kind of done. I like bringing the likes of Hamill in now. Like, he can still move, he can still play. He looks very sharp.
Certainly likes a long shot, doesn't he, Keane? Yeah. I think that's no harm in a way. Sometimes you just need someone who can hit a strike from distance, because defences are often well set, and he was very unlucky, let's be honest. I think the keeper was beaten for both strikes as well.
Yeah.
But that's that one. So St. Patrick's Day 0, Keane, Shamrock Rovers 0. You were obviously at Richmond Park, and what did you make of this one?
It was a first half. I felt Pats kind of huffed and puffed at them a little bit. We kind of pressed them on the heavy touch. They were playing a little bit too much around the back line, I thought, Rovers. And Pats starting off, we started getting a little bit higher. Georgie Kelly, I thought, was excellent in the game when he was playing. He was everywhere. He was calling for the ball. He was chasing everything down. I thought he was superb up there. I was looking at, obviously, Rovers, when they attacked, they kind of looked like they were going to nick something. But at the same time, I can only recall Clarkey making maybe one brilliant save against Green.
Early, wasn't it, actually, as well?
Yeah, it was very early. I think it was in the first 10 minutes or something.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. And you think to yourself, if Rovers score there, maybe it becomes difficult for Pats. But Clark gets down and makes a good save. Green got away from the defence.
I don't think...
First time Rovers actually got in behind the Pats defence, if you understand what I mean.
Yeah, like, I don't think Rovers had that many clear-cut chances at all. I think Arden Green's one was the only one. Pats obviously looked a little bit iffy from corners and stuff like that. Some corners, but other corners were brilliant. I thought Lee Desmond, look, everyone knows how much I admire Lee as a player, but I thought he was excellent yesterday. He was excellent in the middle, and then obviously he was excellent when he moved back after the red card. Look, it was a red card, there's no question about it. It was a second yellow. I wasn't a straight red, so I would have said second yellow easy. Personally, I thought we got away with it when the ref played advantage, but all the Rovers players screaming it's a red card, that's a red card. But thought we got away with it because he played advantage, and I was saying, Jays, we got away with one there, but obviously he went back and he sent them off.
I think actually some of Stephen O'Donnell, I thought it got some spot on. I think Titoff had to come off. He was on a yellow, and a lot of Rovers were attacking them their left-hand side for the most part, weren't they? And Titoff, it's not just that though. They were getting a lot of crosses into the box, and I think Pats needed extra height. So putting Feely into that position obviously gave them extra height in that position. Then you've Desmond back with McNally. And just all round, Pats could deal with the crosses in the game. I thought some of the crosses were poor though in the game. He had a lot of space, especially in that first half, and I thought his crosses lacked a lot of quality. Which
I thought Graham Bourke in the middle as well. I remember the ball came in. I can't think who crossed it in, and all he had to do was touch it and score. I was in. All he had to do was touch it and score, and he just took an awful touch. And then I remember out right, so be right on the television screen. He was right over in the corner where the Pats fans do usually be, and he took an awful touch there as well. If he takes them 2 touches, who knows what could have happened, But I thought, as weird as it sounds, Rovers are well on top, there's no question about it, but they didn't really test Clarkey at all.
A few opportunities were kind of straight on. They had a lot of chances where if they got the touch, if you understand.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's a lot of
little chances like that where they didn't actually have shots as such, but they were a yard off the touch or something like that. If they got a touch, it was in the net type thing. But the longer the game went on, the better Pats started to defend. I said to you earlier off air that when Pats went out to 10, they actually defended even better. I think it focused the minds again, but it meant that Pats had no threat on the counter-attack at all at that point.
Yeah, I think Pats would have beat a hand off for the draw, to be honest, before the game. I know we're seeing a couple of things people are giving out about like the style of play and all. Look, I want to draw it against Rovers. I don't care.
Yeah, to be honest with you, Keane, I think if Pats had tried to go toe for toe with Rovers, it could have ended up, a Rovers win, if I'm honest with you. Look, we'll never know. But at the same time, people have been saying, some Pats fans have been saying they're easy to play against. Well, they weren't easy to play against yesterday, so I don't know what you want sometimes as well.
No, I thought we were. I thought we defended well. We deserved the draw by the way we defended. Look, Rovers had the ball for the whole game, or for the whole half, especially second half. They were always in their half. We never looked like we were going to score. No, Forrester got through at the end there.
By scales, yeah.
He got through at the end. Me thinking, Piercy, that was a red. He was taken through. But look, other than that, we didn't really have anything on the front foot. But did we want to have anything on the front foot? I don't think so. We came for a plan. We got a draw. I'm delighted with a draw. Look, we're the first team to get anything out of it.
Exactly, and I think from Rovers' point of view, I won't be too disappointed with that because they've won all their games. That's their first drop points of the season. They didn't lose. We did suggest last week that I think we said they're a game or two away from dropping points. You know, they're not going to win every game. So, you know, if you get a point, it's not bad. Like, if they move on next weekend now and win their match, you know, they're motoring again. Like, so, you know, from their point of view, a point is decent.
I think a point in Inchi Cork is a hard thing to get. I do think, obviously in recent years, it's been an awful lot easier.
Especially for the better sides.
Yeah,
you know,
I think though, Pats is always a tough place to go. Maybe if the crowd was there, I would think Pats could have gave it a right go. You know, the crowd's behind you. You never know what you have. But Rovers shouldn't be too disheartened by that. Obviously, they're disappointed to draw, especially when you look at it against 10 men. But, you know, I'd be happy enough that they created an awful lot of chances. I don't think there's any doubt they'll be definitely up there towards the end.
Yeah, I still think those teams, yeah.
Yeah, I thought they were excellent. I thought they moved the ball around very quickly. They just couldn't break Pats down, and I don't think that was any fault on Rovers' side. I just think Pats were fantastic at the back.
Exactly, Kane. I don't think it was necessarily, that was a poor performance from Rovers. It's one of those games where they obviously had a lot of the ball. They moved the ball quickly, as you say, and just couldn't break the opposition down. Most weeks they will do that, though.
Yeah, I just thought the Pats back line. I thought Feely, especially in the second half, Feely was excellent. I thought McNally was excellent. I remember the bullet defensive header. To be honest with you, I just thought it happened so quick. I was behind the goal, didn't know what was happening. But like Desmond putting his body on the line, couple of last ditch headers and tackles, and you know, I just think Pat's problem is consistency. I just think, look, we need to at least get a point next week now. But I thought Rovers, they're still the team to beat. I think that's still fantastic. On another day, it could have been 3 or 4-0, but I just think Pat's defended that well. And Pat's fully deserved the draw.
Yeah, it's a fair assessment of the game, I think. Right, Keane, on to the first division. Cabinteely 1, Cove Ramblers 0. Shane Barnes with the goal after 75 minutes. It's 5th goal of the season. Reports suggest that you said that Cove had a lot of chances in this game, but Cabo might have deserved to win the game. Cabo maintained the lead at the top of the table. How did you see this one?
Yeah, look, Cabinteely be obviously delighted with the result. Winning the 1-0 down in Cove, it's a tough place to go. I honestly think Cove deserves something out of the game from looking at the chances and stuff like that. But look, you can't take too much away from Cabinteely. They went down there, they got 3 points. They're still up there at the very top of the table. And look, there's not that long to go. We could see Cabo in the Premier Division.
Amazing, wasn't it? Galway 0, Longford Town 1. McCabe with a late goal here. We talked about Longford during the week, how they got to extra time with Cork City. The legs might be a bit tired. I don't know if they were or not, but having said that, great result at Galway. Galway search for a win goes on.
Yeah, they grounded out. Fantastic 1-0 defensive performance, I believe. And saying that they did have the chances to get more. It was a kind of a scrappy goal. Keeper probably made a mistake for Galway's point of view, but it was really it was a good 3 points for Longford. I think they badly needed it, considering Cabinteely won, and obviously we're going to speak about the dropping points as well. So it turned out to be a massive 3 points for Longford. On the other hand, Galway again, and the win, they just can't seem to win. It's a tough one. I honestly, to seeing the goal back, are just defensive mistakes, and that's going to kill them, because in saying that, like, if they get out there with a draw, I know a lot of that games are a draw, but if they get out there with a draw, it might give them a little bit of confidence. But to lose the game late on as well when they did, it's kind of poor enough.
Yeah, I hate to say it, but I think Murphy is under serious pressure there. He has to be. I'm not saying he won't see the season out necessarily, but there's a chance at the end of the season that this is going to be looked at. I think he's under a bit of pressure there, isn't he?
Yeah, he has to be under pressure. Look, I can't see that budget being smaller than the likes of Cavantilli and being smaller than clubs around, and that's what it boils down to. I think they should be up there. There's no question. I think a team like Galway should be in the Premier Division. Never mind the Fourth Division. And we're talking about them not even getting promotion into a promotion spot, and it's just it's a little bit worrying for Galway United fans. But look, I think then the win has to come soon. Otherwise, I'd say probably get the bullet. And I hate saying that about any manager, but look, I think it has to be done.
Well, I'm sure he'd say to himself at the moment, he's probably looking at it and saying it's not good enough from his point of view, and the players as well, etc., etc. And I don't know if the players they brought in a lot of seemingly good players, but if they're not working out or what the story is, I haven't seen Galway enough this season to say anything on that.
Yeah, look,
there's something obviously wrong there.
You see it. You see the teams over the years at the top end. Like you look at, let's say Stephen Kenny's Shamrock Rovers team.
Yeah, exactly.
You look at like the players he had in that, the Killian Brennan, the players that he had in that side, and then you look at even Pat's last season. Pat on paper probably had up there with Dundalk and Rovers like on par. Like I think Pats were third favourites for the title or something at some stage. But like you look at that and you think the team doesn't gel. Something it's not for the want of trying. These things sometimes it just doesn't gel. And I think that's probably what's happening at Galway. I'm not gonna say it's the lack of quality, it's not for the lack of trying. I say they're trying very hard. Obviously, look, they're professionals, well, semi-professionals, but everybody in this league is a professional in my eyes because they train like professionals.
Yeah.
Look, they want to put this streak away as soon as possible, and I hope it comes soon because you don't like to see any manager under pressure.
Yeah, they're actually, I know they're not bottom, but the only club in the whole of Ireland that haven't won a game this season. Athlone 3, draw United 3 in Athlone. Now, this was a mental game. Manning got 2 goals for Athlone, 20-year-old striker. Duffy scored. An OG for Drogheda, Birmingham, and Chris Lyons with a penalty in 84. Manning did score that penalty after 89 minutes to make it 3-3. A mad game. I heard Drogheda didn't defend the best on the day, but Athlone deserved the win. And this is what I mean about the First Division. Athlone possibly could finish 10th, but they're capable of getting results against the better teams.
Yeah, look, what a game. Could you say it happened before? No. Could anyone have predicted that? No. I thought Athlone fully deserved 3 points, I believe. It's what I'm hearing. They just couldn't keep the ball out of the net the other end. But look, Drogheda on the other hand be bitterly disappointed, especially with Longford winning and Cavantilli winning. They're losing ground again. But look, in 2 games' time, they could be top of the table. Who knows? It changes so quickly in this league. But you need to be winning teams like Athlone. But that's no disrespect to Athlone. They fully deserve the win. They play fantastically well. But a club like Drogheda shouldn't be drawing or dropping points to Athlone.
No, they need to bounce back very quickly. Rovers B 2, Wexford 0. Alua and Murphy with the goals. Great results for Rovers B. Wexford were bitterly disappointed, I know, from talking to a few people with that result. Maybe for the first time, there was a bit of expectancy with Wexford, I wonder. And that's maybe that come out a little bit,
Yeah, look, you look at Rovers B and you think Wexford should be winning that. But it doesn't pan out like that. Look, these players are obviously playing for a top club in Ireland. They're playing League of Ireland football. They fully deserve the win. I thought Wexford, the game kind of passed them by. Rovers, look, Lua is a fantastic talent. He's one that's in and around the first team as well. Really, really good talent. One for the future. Rovers, Aiden Price and stuff like that would be delighted with a result like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Bray Wanderers 2, UCD 0. This could have went either way for me, but Bray got the result at the end. Darren Lynch with 2 goals, and it puts them in the promotion picture a little bit now, that result as well.
Yeah, look, we said it before. Whoever won would be in the promotion picture. I couldn't see Bray win the 2-0, and I couldn't see UCD win the 2-0. So that's why I went for a draw. I thought it'd be a cagey game of chess, really. But
I went
I wasn't.
UCD, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I thought it'd be a game of chess, but it wasn't. I thought Bray fully deserved. I've seen the highlights. 2 fantastic finishes. Look, he has a bit about him, that kid, and I think he could go places, but it's a matter of how long Bray can hold on to him, because Bray aren't gonna hold on to him for long if he's scoring for fun or if he's playing really well.
Yeah. Cian, that's the results. We'll move on. Monday and Tuesday, there's First Division, a full programme over 2 days of First Division fixtures. And the pick of the bunch for me has to be Longford and Cabinteely. That is an absolutely huge game, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a big game. I'm gonna go Cabinteely.
Yeah.
Gonna go Cabinteely 1-0. I just think they have a bit of quality about them now at the back to sit it out and grind out a result. I think they'll score early on, or maybe late. To be honest, I just think they'll score 1, but I don't think. I think they'll have enough firepower to score the 1, but then they'll have enough discipline to sit back and get a result. I'm gonna go 1-0.
Yeah, I've got 1 in Longford, but based on your prediction, if Cabot were to win that, put them in an unbelievable position. They brought in some new players as well, Kinsella and Jack Connolly, to try and add to strike while the iron's hot, basically. I think is what they're trying to do, and add an extra bit of young quality in there as well. But if Cabot were to win that, you're kind of starting to look at them and say, look, they're in a serious position now.
Yeah, look, there's only a couple of games left. We need to realise that the top, they've been
not 38
top.
games, yeah.
No, they've been top, and look, that's not taken away from them saying after 38 games they won't be up there. Gone by the form that they're in now, obviously I'd say they would be up there come the end of the season if it was a normal season.
I've no doubt they'll be up there. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, they started like a train this before lockdown, and look, they've continued it on. I hope they get the result because the work that's being done there. It'd be great to see Carrow in the Premier Division if they get another ground, because I hate Shamrock.
Yeah, I don't like it either. I mean, when it's cold there, it's cold as well, you know.
Not one of my favourites.
It's not their fault, unfortunately, you know what I mean? But yeah, it's a tough place to be, especially if there's a bit of a wind and rain, you're jacked, basically. So you've got 1-0 there. I've got 1-0 Longford. If Longford can close the gap, it'll be huge as well and make it interesting. That moves me on to Drogheda and Galway, which is a big game in itself because it's another opportunity for the Galway to try and get something out of. And you'd like to think Drogs are going to react after that draw in Athlone. It could have been the worst thing that happened to Galway. It's hard to tell. But I'm going for Drogs to win this one. I'm going 2-0 Drogheda United.
I'm going to go 1-0 Drogheda. I think Galway won't get the result they need. I don't think they'll get the 3 points.
Yeah.
Maybe they could nick a draw. I'm going to say it's going to be a tight game. But I'm going to go 1-0 Drogheda.
The fact as well that Longford are playing Cabo, you get the feeling that the Drogs guys in the dressing room will be saying, look, someone has to drop points there. We have to win this game. Because they kind of do, don't they? I know, again, we keep saying it, it's early-ish, but again, there isn't 38 games. They know for a fact that either Longford or Cabo, if not both, are going to drop points. So they have to win that game.
It's a huge game for Drogheda. Yeah, it's a huge fixture list for the First Division as such. I think it's nearly a turning point for a lot of teams. Whoever wins it and whoever loses it. Any of the games this week, this midweek game. So it's going to be a big week, I think, for the First Division.
Absolutely. UCD actually take on Athlone Town. That's obviously at Belfield. UCD will be disappointed with their results. Athlone, they got a last-minute penalty. They probably deserve more, I've heard. But they should be buoyed by that result anyway to get a draw against Drogheda, let's be fair. I'm not sure if they can put in two performances consistently, though, in a short space of time. So I've gone for UCD to bounce back and actually win this one 3-1. I can see a few goals in this game, actually.
Yeah, look, they're going to take confidence from Friday's result. Like I said, Keith, I do these off the cuff, and I'm just thinking of form and stuff like
I'm
that.
doing them off the cuff today, actually, because that's my new tactic, because I was so bad last week. The more I think about it, Keane, the worse my results are. So
I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. I think Athlone will have Harps from last week's result. I think they will take it into this week. Like they'll be chomping at the bit now to get back in. At the same time, you look at UCD, they'd be dying to get back on that pitch after a loss. They'd be delighted that they're playing Athlone as such, with no disrespect. They'd be taking them hard. They'd be taking them as if, let's say, they're the Shamrock Rovers or something. I've no doubt about it. But I think UCD will be delighted because it gives them a chance to bounce back and win in ways. But I just think Athlone will have a bit of quality about them and they'll finish a 1-0.
It's an interesting game for sure. Now, Brave Wanderers will take on Rovers B at the Carlisle grounds. Now, I have a feeling Rovers B are going to have a few first teamers in this one, Keane, because Rovers don't play during the week. I think Scales and Williams, who played 20 minutes against Pats roughly ish.
Yeah.
I think they're going to play this game, do you? I'm not sure. Cavan will obviously play, Lou will play. So I think they might have an extra bump of quality in this game. I'm going 1-1 in this one. I think it's the first time ever Rovers B to get a result.
Yeah, I do think a couple of first teamers will play, but I think Bray will need to win. It's a big game for them now. They need to back up. Like I always say, Friday's result doesn't matter if you don't go and back her up the next week. I think they'll be having to go and back her up now. They're at home again, aren't they?
Yeah, at home to the Carlisle, yeah.
Just making sure. Yeah, no, they're at home again.
Me too, Keane. I'm not sure if it makes a huge difference. If I was putting in the result, I'm not sure if I changed it based on home and away due to the lack of crowds. But I don't know. It's a tough one. But anyway.
But two home games, especially after a fantastic performance. I'm gonna go 2-0 Bray. I just think they have what it takes now. They have a little bit of momentum, and there's no reason why they can't go over it.
Be interesting to see if Gary Shaw comes back to haunt his old club as such as well. So that'll be worth looking out for. He didn't score the other day, so he'll want to score tonight, I'd say. Or that one's tomorrow night, I believe. That's Tuesday night. Cove Ramblers and Wexford. That's a very interesting game. As I said, Wexford were very disappointed with their result against Rovers B. Cove, though, have been very tough to beat. I feel they'll fancy this one. I'm going Cove to win this one 1-0.
Yeah, it's you flip a coin on this game.
Win nearly. Yeah.
I'm gonna go over the 0-0 draw. I can't pick them. That's the only reason why. You can flip a coin. I'm gonna go 1-0 draw, and I just can't pick between the two of them. I think the two of them are on the same level.
Yeah, I think they probably are. Yeah, Keane. I think Cove. Well, everyone feel like they're due a win, but I think their performances now, I just think they'll do enough there in that game. Sligo Waterford is on Tuesday as well. Premier Division fixture, obviously called off. I think it was last week or the week before. Sligo, I think we're going to see a reaction here. Whether they win or not is another thing, but they will react to that 3-0 defeat against Cork. And one thing we've noticed is that a team who gets a beaten or a bad result tend to react very well in their next game. I do think it's a tough one to call, mind you, but I'm going to go 2-1 Sligo.
Yeah, it's a strange one to call. Look, Waterford would be delighted with that performance. It's been a weird week for Waterford as usual. I think every week is weird for them now. An awful lot of off the field antics going on, but look, I just hope the players stick with it because they have a bulk of a good squad. They've good people there. Like I said, I've absolutely no respect for Sheridan, but I think the team alone is fantastic. The way they played, the way they got the result, they'd be delighted with that. There's a lot of good people in Waterford. Let's not forget that. A lot of good coaches.
I need to say this quickly as well. I think the Waterford people and fans have to understand that people that mightn't have high opinion of John Sheridan. It's nothing on them, like, you know what I mean? It's nothing got to do with the club.
Yeah, look,
Sheridan could be manager of Cork City, Longford Town, Galway, St. Pat's, by the way, for all I care. It's irrelevant for me, so, you know.
yeah, look, I don't think we can take anything away from the performance or take anything away. There's a lot of good people in Waterford as well, like the likes of Frosty and stuff like that. It was, you know, like it's people just tend to think everyone's out to get Waterford. It's not. But in saying that, I'm gonna go for a draw. I think I do. I think Waterford have the quality, but I think Sligo will have a bit of a reaction to that 3-0. Whether they have enough quality to beat them, I'm not sure. I'm gonna go for a 2-2 draw. A bit of goals in this one.
Yeah, I do sense to be goals for some reason, so put your money on 0-0, lads. But I think Ty Ryan is going to be in goal for this. I don't think Murphy's going to make it by the sense of things. I think that could be key. It's not just quality goalkeeper. It's commanding of area and organisation, the backline.
Yeah,
I think that went to hell a little bit, if I'm honest, against Dundalk. I think if Murphy was there for the last few minutes, I think they might have seen that out, to be honest with you, in that particular game. And he's a huge goalkeeper. I think he's close to Manus to being the best keeper in the league. Manus touches it because he's been, or kind of trumps him because he's here a little bit longer. But I think Murphy's up there for sure.
There's no question about it. The quality Murphy has, he's
he's
a really, really good keeper. I think he's probably the best keeper I've seen in this league. Now I'm talking about before he went over and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But I do think he's the best keeper I've seen in this league. Now I remember, it's weird because the only time I can really remember Murphy getting beaten properly was Fatty from the halfway line in Dalymount.
Goal for that one, yeah.
Yeah, he was in for that one, but I just think he has everything about him, and you're seeing it, especially on the first night in Inchy Quarter, first game of the season. He pulled off some cracking saves.
Without question, that
he got the 3 points. There's no doubt about it. But I think, I think he's probably up there with the best keeper I've seen on a consistent level in the league. But now, whether he came back, he hasn't obviously come back with the same qualities he left with. Players come back and leave different qualities and stuff like that. He's a lot older now, but he's a lot more experienced. Some would say goalkeepers don't really age as such, people say. But I just thought obviously he was a better keeper before he came back, I think.
Shows how good he was. If anyone didn't see him that time, and think he's good now. Right, guys, leave it there. Like, subscribe, and click your bell notification button, and we'll leave it there. And I'll see you next week, Ian. Good stuff. Thanks very much.
See you, bud. Mind yourself.